All right, so I've kind of boxed myself into a corner where I can't really go to sleep because 6:25, 6:24, and the kids get up for school at 6:45, and I know if I close my eyes and let myself knock out, I probably ain't opening them again. So I figured I'd talk about some shit real quick, and it's just chasing your dreams, man. I think once, like earlier in the year, Kenny posted some shit that I kind of talked about. I made a video out of it. But I was like, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I was like, and he said, or the meme that he posted was like, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life is the biggest lie. And I agreed with it. And well, I mean, I guess it depends on what your fucking dream is. If it's a physical job, like if your job, is kind of physical, it's not like painting or whatnot. But even then, I guess I would imagine it would happen the same way. But it can be taxing. So right now, what my schedule's been looking like is I wake up when my wife comes home from work around 1:30 because that's trying to spend more time with my wife and kids while I have the downtime. And then all throughout the day, I hang out with the wife and kids, fucking around the house, watching TV, playing video games with the kids or whatnot, just eating shit. Just like I said, spending time. So kids go to bed around 9:30. If we're in the middle of a movie, my wife will go to bed around 10:30. And if depending on where we're at in the movie, whenever it stops, I'll get up and start doing engine work. So I think tonight I started around 11:30, and I finished at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I don't feel like I got as much done as I wanted to get done. I know it's not a feeling. I know I didn't because I wanted to have the K20 done tonight. But see, here's what happened, right? So when I was digging for parts the other day, I saw one of my K20s in the back under a tarp, not wrapped up in plastic, just under a tarp, and it was a little bit rusted. I was like, huh. This is the block that I initially wanted to bore over to use for the big boy K20, K28 with the Type R pistons and whatnot, the 88 millimeter, but I didn't because I forgot to have it. That's the problem when you have an abundance of shit. You forget exactly what you have. So anyway, I was like, huh, why is that out here collecting rust? Let me bring it inside. So, and then of course I had the B18 that was rolling around in my trunk, so I had to, get it prepped too. So I cleaned it, honed it, got it ready for rebuild, wrapped it in plastic, stashed it in the room. So I go to get the K20 on the stand, and I clean it up, prep it, get all the rust out of it, hone it up. It's looking relatively good from where I can see it. And then I tilt the engine forward, and I see the big ass track marks up and down the cylinders from the ring drag. I was like, God damn it! And then I remembered I had a stint where I pulled like 3 K20s that all had that same problem. Oh man, so that sucks. I'm like, fuck, now what am I gonna do? Because I need another K block to sell, because this is the only thing I can build right now that I don't have to invest any more money into. I'm like, well, fuck, what am I gonna do? So I started digging around, and eventually, thankfully, I found a Z3 that I have that's mint as fuck. So I did get the Z3 on the stand, and it was already prepped and painted and honed. I don't have to do shit to it. So I guess what I did tonight, or no, I don't guess again. Just what I did tonight is cleaned and prepped and painted the B18 that I'm not even gonna be able to build right now. Cleaned and prepped a K20 that I can't use. Remove PNC pistons off of PNC rods so I could put some A2 pistons on there. And then I decided against using that because I'm going to use a Z3 block, and I don't want to put fucking bullshit ass boo boo rods in a Z3 block. I want to sell an actual Z3, so that's why I came to that decision. I'm going to stop being a hoarding Jew and fucking actually sell a K20, a big boy K20 crank. I figured I still have a K24 block that I can use, and I got 2 K24 blocks I can use, 2 healthy cranks, and I still have a built K20. So, and I have plenty of options. I have another healthy C3 crank, so it's not like I have to worry about letting one of them go. I have more blocks right now that I can use. The only problem is 3 of them I can't use without fucking machine work. So the problem is that I think people will come. The majority of people want an already built block, and I just can't do that. So, and then if somebody comes and they want to build, I would have to take it to the machine shop. And the overbore, I think it took like a month and a half. I can't remember exactly, but it took a long time. And people don't necessarily want to invest that kind of money and wait that kind of time, even though it's out of my hands. Anyway, so it's just been really exhausting. I still got to do the single cam, but now I'm kind of hold up on that because I talked to somebody on this Facebook groups tonight that I may be doing a trade for a shell, and I wasn't really going to talk about it, but I guess to talk about it, and I guess give you the reason why I'm not rushing to do the single cam business. Why I got to take those to the machine shop. I actually forgot to do it because I was, like I said, chilling with my family. I forgot to do it until it was late. And then after that, I'm like, well, I might need money for a tow truck, so I got to see. And then it's kind of the greed thing. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. The car's not in the best shape, but it's a 2000, so I really want it. Something I've wanted for a long time. It's not a sedan, but still. Anyway, so I got to talk to Blake and talk to him first, see if there's something going to be worked out there. If not, then I'll let it slide and see if I can sell that K20 long block. Hopefully. So yeah, I guess tomorrow I'll have that K20 Z3 built, and it, like I said, it's cherry. It'll be ready to go. I can sell it as just a short block with rotating assembly, or I can sell it with a short block as a short block with an oil pan and the Type S oil pump. So yeah, that's something hopefully, and that'll be budget because I'm using used bearings, but used healthy bearings, and the rings I just bought, so it'll be fresh ringed and shit like that. And because it doesn't have brand new bearings on it, I will sell it for much lower than I would originally want to. If you're local, I guess I could throw a timing cover in too. I'm sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. It's kind of hard to think right now, but if you're local, I can do. $550 if you want the oil pump, oil pan, and timing cover, and $400 if you just want the short block. I think $400 is fair enough. The K20 is the poor man's fucking one nowadays, so they're a lot easier to come by. So I guess I don't mind. I'm not really losing out too much money on that. That's a potential use that I stress more than losing money there. So if I can make $400 off of it, I'll be pretty happy. I guess kind of the job update. I mentioned it the other day. I took a piss test for one. I'm just waiting for the results to come back. It's been, as of this morning, it's been 3 days. So when I wake up this afternoon, I will be making a phone call to see what's up with that. And if I don't, I do. Like I said, I took the drug test. They're paying for me to take the drug test. The lady made a big point of selling me on this, so I'd imagine it's good. It's good to go. Just waiting for the drug test results. But anyway, I got 2 other job interviews back to back on Monday, just in case I'm not working by that time. One's at 1 o'clock, one's at 2 o'clock, both in the Pompano area. I might call and push one forward a little bit, so that way I don't have a problem. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I plan on, I hope to be back to work soon. I'm just trying to take the bad with the good right now. Like, I've been feeling bad about working at Ryder since, I think, February or March, since the night shift ended. Shit kind of went south for me. I was kind of clinging on because I have separation anxiety. I don't like to do new things. And this is the longest work gap I've had in a long time, and it's my fault. I mean, at least 1 week worth of that is my fault because the day I applied, the day after I got, or the same day I applied, I got one answer, and then the next day I got another answer. One of them turned out to not be good. The dealership, the money wasn't right, and it was too much work for too little pay. So, which I imagined it would be, but, trying to get money somehow, even if it didn't work out long term, I guess. I don't like going to a place and quitting, but I would have if somebody else came with a better offer. And, of course, eventually the better offer is there with this lady offering to match my pay. But the other one was the Coca-Cola company. I really wanted that one. That's the one I felt like the most comfortable with. It was night shift. The guy seemed real cool. He seemed, matter of fact, he's going to call me back, so I didn't apply anywhere else for 2 days. And then I called the recruiter, and the recruiter said just wait a little while longer. And I did, and still nothing. So by the time I started applying, the week was gone. Good fortunate thing is Monday came in. I already had interviews again, and I did an interview on Monday, and I'm just waiting for drug test results for that one. But still, that's still a couple days at the wait, and then won't be starting until, I would imagine, next Monday because the way my sleep cycle's been right now, I'm going to be probably working 10 to 6 from 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night. So I'm going to have to give a day or so to adjust that. Now, luckily enough for me, I can go to sleep whenever I need to. So, yeah. Man, I'm sorry. I kind of got off into a ramble. it's just you know, like I said, the dream chasing thing is it can be taxing, you know, especially on the fact that you're spending this much time doing this much work for no pay. It's of course it's a great thing when you know that when somebody contacts me because they want to build, you know, I'm building this for somebody, it's already spoken for, you know, the money's there, and then of course the results from the dyno. But it sucks to do multiple builds that are going to get stashed and hopefully get, you know, sold. And then it just like the last couple days kind of reminded me why I don't like the fucking why I stopped selling engine blocks locally. It's just a lot of fucking assholes and retards out here. People who want shit for pennies. They want the most fucking pricey shit. They want the most highest value shit for next to nothing. And it's just fucking frustrating, you know. And people try to nitpick posts when, you know, they ain't really trying to buy anything. It's just yeah, it 100% reminded me why I haven't, you know, really pushed to sell anything. I've posted a couple of things for sale, you know, a couple engine blocks for sale throughout the year, but it wasn't anything I pushed. It's like I posted it and I forgot about it and I left it there, didn't bump it or anything. Of course, the only reason why last couple of days I've been doing that is I'm, you know, trying to make up for lost pay, lost wages and shit. So if I can sell anything, you know, $300 or $400 is better than no money for 3 weeks straight, you know. So yeah, anyway, I'm not trying to tell you that as a pity party or anything. I'm just saying that that's, you know, not to feel bad for me, but it is like I said, you know, like when you're doing this kind of work for no immediate reward, it can be grueling. It's a fun thing to do, but there's the possibility of making money. Like, damn, I could possibly sell this, but I don't know until I finish it and post it for sale. I can't just post it before I build it to see if somebody's going to want to buy it and then do the work if somebody confirms, because then I might lose somebody, because then it's going to take the days it's going to need to put it together and everything. So I need it to be finished before I can post it for sale. And then, you know, rushing to finish it, not rushing, but pushing myself to finish it just for it to, you know, potentially not sell. It's kind of a gamble on your time. But it's whatever. I mean, it's still very enjoyable and rewarding. It's just like the days like this where I've spent 7 hours, about 7 hours work, and it's real tiring, especially when it's 7 hours of work and I didn't get nowhere near as finished as I wanted to. I guess that most of the hard work is done. Even though I prepped one block that I couldn't use, the one that I am going to use is already done, so I don't have to do the work twice, thankfully, or the third time because I did the B18. So tomorrow night, I would imagine, when it comes time to do this, I'm going to go back there, check the gap on the rings, bolt the crank in, drop pistons and rods in, post that block for sale too. And then if I don't do the trade for the car, for the shell, then I'll have the long block high compression K23 for sale and the short block K20Z3. So that'd be cool. Maybe I'll get lucky. And of course, there's still a single cam, because as soon as the K20 comes off the stand, as soon as it's done tomorrow, I'm gonna put the single cam on the stand, and it's gonna be prepped. I actually have another block that's already clean and ready to go too, so I think I'll probably go dig that out of my storage closet. And then the crank I have, and the other one is loose. So yeah, that's it. Just like I said, to ramble. 13 minutes. Kids wake up in about 7 minutes or so. So I guess I'm done. Thanks guys for watching, and talk to y'all later. Peace.